Alright, what is going on, people? Welcome back. Oh, phone's fallen. We're off to a shit start already. Alright, people. Welcome back to another live stream. This is just another one of them fucking eat food and baffle shit kind of live streams. So if you watch it while it's live, you watch it while it's live. If you don't, you watch it after. I just fucking gonna baffle onto the camera while eating my cheese on toast with a sausage, because who doesn't love eating a sausage? That could have come out so wrong in some people's minds, but the way I see it, I'm on about the food kind of sausage. So if anyone thinks otherwise, they're the dirty ones. Not me. So, Boris made his announcement yesterday. That announcement that all the brainwashed baboons thought, oh, let's have hope, let's be hopeful. Oh, I'm praying for you, babe, that you aren't gonna suffer with your events. Open your eyes. I'm not being funny, right? But the evidence that all of this is a load of bullcrap stares us in the face, right? And there's so many people out there that are just so brainwashed to what's actually going on. Now, I'm going to take my nan and granddad, for example, because I went to see them today. I went to visit them. Right? Now, they don't do like the internet. They don't go online and stuff. You know. They're not browsing the web, put it this way. They're proper immune to it. Like they think everything is real. So they're proper, like they don't go out. If they go out, they wear a mask. If they go in a pub, they wear a mask until they sit down. They put the mask on before they stand back up. They order table service. They don't go up to the bar. They're so brainwashed to what is actually going on. You know, Boris extends the final lifting of all easing, and they just believe that the numbers are going back up. They believe what they're being told on the news. But to save arguing, to save causing it going on, I sort of just had to I had to wear my mask and everything. You know, just to keep them happy. But I know it's all a load of nonsense. But there is more people that are actually waking up. But you've also got to watch yourself as well. Because there's people out there that aren't fully awake, and they're awake to an extent, but they think they're awake. So they think they know shit that they don't actually know, or or you get people out there that are sort of in some sense pretending to be awake, pretending to be a truther, and they'll actually like, you know, they'll say this, that, and the other, but there's no sources for it. So my friend, he's been researching stuff since the early 2000s. So like, I'm not fully awake. You know, I couldn't go and tell loads of people loads of stuff. But what I do know is that I am starting to open my eyes to it all, because when COVID first started, I was mixed with the COVID. You know, I thought, is this actually real? It seems a little bit like, to me, like we was living like a dream, like it was some sort of like action movie where some big pandemic wipes out half the country. And part of me was like, well, you know, it's all over the news, the governments are saying it, so it must be real. But there was part of me that was thinking, like, it is a very strange thing, you know, almost like an action movie or something, where someone's then going to come and save the day. And then I moved to Hull, started knocking about with my friend, and he's awake, he's been researching stuff for years. So he starts talking. And he starts having these conversations about things that are like blowing my mind. And at first I'm thinking, you're chatting out your ass. You know, there's no way in hell that shit like this is true. And then, you know, the more I listened to it, the more I started to understand bits, and I started reading into it myself. And he's actually right on some of the stuff that he's saying, and there's actual like sources out there that will confirm, and he's not the only person to think this. So I'm not like fully awake, but I'm waking up, if that makes sense. So I'm like learning, and I'm researching stuff. And you know, all these people walk around brainwashed, wearing masks, and you know, standing as far back from someone as they can, without being too close to the person behind them. And literally, the answers that more or less prove that this is just all a hoax is looking at them right in the face, but you know, they choose to believe what they get told on BBC News. You know, we come into another lockdown, people just believe the numbers have risen again. Or people think that because people have gone back into pubs, you know, it's brought the numbers back up. But there is no numbers to go up in the first place. So that's where we are. But Boris's announcement yesterday, I knew it was going to be what it was going to be. You know, there was people on there having hope that things were going to be all right. So I've got two theories as to like what's going to happen next. So we're supposed to now come out of things on the 19th of July, right? So I've got two theories for you. The first theory is the numbers are going to keep supposedly rising. We aren't going to get the vaccines out in time. And let me tell you this now, I won't be having my COVID jab. My nan and them, they think I'm going to have it. And they believe I should have it. They think as soon as I get my letter, I want to go, you know, I should be going to have it. I'm not sticking the needle in me that I don't know what's in it. People have died from having it, and that already gives me a worry. You know, you inject it into you, you don't know how it's going to make you feel. I've heard of people being quite poorly from it, and when we've researched some of the stuff that is in it, it's not nice stuff that's in it. So personally, I won't be taking it. So they want to try and vaccinate everybody quicker than the numbers are supposedly going to go up from this Indian variant, which we're supposed to have been in a lockdown. So how has a virus come from India to the UK when we were supposed to have been in a lockdown? Which just baffles me for starters. Then there's another something variant, right? So my bet is that, well, not my bet, but one of my theories is that the 19th of July will get postponed again. So we'll get nearer the day, and then it'll postpone it and say, look, we need to beat these numbers still. My second theory is things will go as planned. We'll open up on the 19th of July, and we'll sort of have the August, September sort of time, maybe some of October, maybe going into November, where things will be back up and there'll be a slight bit of normality. Things will be doing well, and then it will get that bit closer to Christmas, and then boom, everything. Numbers have been rising again. These vaccines haven't worked as well as we thought. There's new research. We're going to have to go back into another lockdown, and then we'll go in a lockdown that won't be as bad. So we'll only go in it for maybe 4 weeks, and then we'll come back out just for Christmas. So we've helped get the numbers down just by taking them 4 weeks out, and then after Christmas, we've made them go back up again. Naughty us for having our family round at Christmas. So we'll go back in again. But we'll see. So what's it mean for me, booking wise? So, my festival booking, that can still go ahead, because it's outdoors. So, basically, because it's outside, which outdoor things can happen, to a small extent. So nothing, you can't have like massive festivals on the scale of like Creamfields and stuff. But because we are outdoors, we are allowed to go ahead. However, we do have to take a COVID test before we go to the festival. So essentially, we do have to have a COVID test before we go, just to prove that we don't go to the festival with any symptoms, basically. And if we don't, then we're all good. If we do, then sadly we can't come, or we can't go in. So, there we go. But, I'm one of these people, I respect people. People get brainwashed and blind, and it's not always their fault. So, like, just to keep them happy, I'll take the COVID test. But, So I can do that booking. However, sadly, I had one on the 9th of July that looks like it won't be going ahead. So we'll have to find out. That's the food part of the stream down. Just a drink now. It was quite nice actually. You see, the thing with bread, I'm not too keen on the crust. Like, you know, like the end of a loaf, like the two ends. But sadly, we had a loaf of brown bread. Went to go and use it, and sadly, there was no date on it. But when I got a couple of slices out, you could see it had gone off. It was brown bread. My mum was mainly using it, as I do prefer white bread. However, my white loaf had come to the end, and because I'm not really a big fan of eating the crust, I started having a couple of slices of the brown bread, but obviously it must have like gone off either today or yesterday. I didn't have any yesterday. I didn't have any today. So I decided to eat my crusts because I thought, you know, I'm a bit hungry. I'll eat my crust anyway. And yeah, it was actually quite nice. So there we go. What can I say? Exactly. But yeah, to cut the story short, so sadly, my booking in July has been postponed. It's been sadly cancelled, just due to this COVID announcement. It was indoors, and it was unable to go ahead. So it's a bit of a shame. Obviously, things get reviewed. So, like in a couple of weeks, the government could say we're going to open things up. You know, the numbers have actually gone down, or it might just carry on till the 19th. Who knows? Which is why the clubs, I suppose, in some sense, can't say definitely no, but it doesn't look like you know, they'll go ahead any sooner than the 19th of July, which is a bit gutting. But if I'm going to be all honest, I'm not, you know, because I kind of sort of expected that it wasn't going to happen. So I'm not really, like, there's so many people that are gutted. If I'm going to be all honest, I'm not really that gutted about it. Like, it doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't really make me feel shit. If I'm going to be honest with you, like, I know some people are gutted. They've been putting statuses like, F you, Boris, we're never going to rave again. And, you know, we'll rave at some point. And I know, like, it's frustrating for people that have put events on and things like that, but really, I was only really booked for the old school, for Club Vega to do this house thing. There's a Pirate Studios live stream event happening the day after. I do believe that might be able to still go ahead. So that might still happen for me. And then there was a summer lockdown reunion with the Core Vibes. I don't know if that can go ahead. I'm not entirely sure. However, the studio one might still be able to go ahead if it's distanced. So like certain people in the studio at a time, maybe, I'm not sure. So in all fairness, booking wise for me, I think it would only be this one at the Club Vega that would get postponed. And if it gets moved back by just a couple of weeks, and it can still go ahead in a couple of weeks' time, I'm not really too fussed about waiting a couple of weeks. You know, as long as I get to do it in the end. But I was more, you know, because the festival's quite a big thing for me. I mean, they're both big things for me, don't get me wrong, you know, and I aren't as such favouritism one over the other, but I was really looking forward to the festival, so I was like, I was going to be gutted if that couldn't go ahead, but obviously it can. So, to me, I would, you know, I can wait a couple of weeks for the other one. But if it just felt like everything was going to get cancelled, yeah, it probably would have been a bigger blow to me. But the fact that I can still do some things and just wait a bit longer to do the other things, that kind of makes me feel better, if that makes sense. So at least I'm not like totally losing out on everything. But like I say, I'm gutted for people that are putting events on and shit like that, because it is bad. It is, you know, it's gutting for them when they've got dates in place and they've booked DJs and, you know, it was maybe good time for the headliner to actually come through if they're not from the same town as where they're getting booked, and you know, for various reasons, things might have been worked out, you know, in favour for that weekend especially. You know, some DJs might have that weekend off work, or you know how it goes. So it might, you know, you can understand where it's going to be a bit of a piss take for them, when they've sort of, you know, when they've organised and they've arranged things, and you know they've booked time off from other things, or maybe they've had to juggle things about and they got it all juggled, and then they didn't want to have to start juggling things about again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I can see where it's a pain, but yeah, as far as the announcement goes, it won't stop our festival. So so it's all good on that score. I can't wait for the festival, by the way. So yeah, if you missed the video yesterday, give me a second. There we go. Yeah, so if you didn't see the stream yesterday, I announced that I've been booked to play at a small-scaled festival, which I'm buzzed about, because one of my dreams was to play at a festival. You know, that was something that was, it was on my list to tick off and say, you know, I played at a festival. So a good friend of mine, DJ Monster, one of the owners of Harder Southwest, actually invited me down to play at this festival, which blew my mind. I was like, whoa, you actually want me to come and play here? And he had some really nice words to say about me, so I've got nothing but respect for him. And at first, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get there, because I don't drive myself. It's a fairly long drive. So at first, my friend was going to drive down. We weren't really sure what this festival thing was all about. We thought it was maybe something a bit more mainstream than it was. So we were kind of like, yeah, I'll drive you down. And then we got a bit more information about the festival. We realised it was going to be a little bit like limited for the COVID and stuff like that. And it was going to be a secret location, just so when it's sold out, it's sold out. And, you know, we've got our own little space. So it sort of put my friend off a little bit. He was a bit like, oh, I don't really know if I want to drive down, you know, if it's just going to not really be that good. And then we sort of got to hear more about, you know, sort of what's going to happen, and flyer came about, and I also got the opportunity of another way of getting down there. So I was like, yeah, I'll still do it. And then things just kind of came more to light about the festival, and it got more fun and interesting. People actually wanted my friend to come down as well. They were like, yeah, come down, take the pictures. It just got more exciting, and it turned into something quite magical. So my friend was like, yeah, I actually want to go down to this again. So he's now going to drive me down again. So I'm actually quite buzzed for it. So I'll be camping. It's a camping weekend. It's a wicked camping weekend. It's going to be full of music all weekend. It's going to be ranging up from house music all the way up through bounce, hardcore, to the really heavy stuff. Monster did actually say to me, I think it was on Saturday, I was doing a live stream playing some house. Monster did say this stuff would go down well during the daytime, especially like early afternoon. So I was like, look, I can bring my Funky House collection on my USB sticks with me, and we can roll. You know. Sorry about this, I'm just trying to reply to a text as well. Sorry. Yeah, so, literally, they want, I'm going to be doing some house music, which blows my mind, because there's a certain tune, I played it. My friend Lee, who's driving me down, loves the tune he does, and it's a proper festival tune. Like it'll go off at a festival, if you're into like your house and your bass line and stuff. So literally, it's a remix of an old school track called "Awesome Free Don't Go." Starts off very sort of like just minimal, normal, just goes into like how the track "Awesome Free Don't Go" does. Nice little piano, you've got the vocal in there, and then it builds up, and then it just drops into this really sick bass line tune. And it just and then it switches and does all this different sounds in the drop, and turns into a wicked track. I played it on radio 1 week, doing a slot, and my mate Lee was like, look, this tune is an absolute banger. It's one of my favourites now. He still likes it now. And it's just a big tune that would go off at the festival on a loud sound system. So if I'm doing some house during the day, I am going to switch up and go into some of them dirty bassline drops. Trust me, let me tell you. But yeah, all in all, it's going to be a wicked weekend. I can't tell you that I won't get drunk, because I know for a fact I'm going to be drinking. And yeah, it's just going to be wicked. I don't know how else I can actually describe it other than it is going to be wicked. It's going to be live on Facebook, like I stated in the video, but once I know more about when we're going to be live and stuff, it'll be on the Harder Southwest page on Facebook. So if you go over to Facebook, type in Harder Southwest, you'll find it. And you'll find the page. People go live on there all through the week. I do on a Monday. It's a bit like a radio station, but it's live on Facebook. People do shows all through the week. So make sure you give them a like. Watch some stuff, some good DJs on there. But the weekend is going to get streamed. So you'll be able to see me in action, other people in action. And depending how the cameras are set up, you'll probably see me drunkenly dancing, especially on the night. I'll probably take it a little bit more minimal through the day. I don't know exactly like what's going to happen, drink and food wise. All I know is I'm bringing a shit ton of booze, Jaeger. I'm going to bring beers, that kind of thing. That's all I know. I'm going to take beer and Jaeger. and I'm gonna get absolutely off it on the probably both nights, to be fair. But to be fair, like, both nights are kind of like, there's reasons like not to get too off it both nights, but then there's just so many reasons to get off it. So you've got the Friday. If you overdo it on the Friday, you're going to feel crap all Saturday. If you overdo it on the Saturday, you're going to feel crap all Sunday and you've got to travel back. So I think personally is what you've just got to do is you've just got to go off it both nights, to be fair. So you've just got to kind of go off it on the Friday, get absolutely immortal, and then you've just got to kind of not really sleep, and then you've kind of got to go off it on the Saturday, and then you're just going to have a dying day on Sunday, which just gives you a chance to rest because you're just sort of travelling. And I'm not driving, so I'll just be like sat in a passenger seat of a car, and then I'm actually catching a train from Mexborough, which is going to get me back up to Hull, I believe. So then I'll just like relax and rest on the train. Probably won't sleep because I don't want to miss like a station, but yeah, I'll probably just sleep. I'll probably just relax and rest. But all I know is it's going to be absolutely wicked, and I actually cannot wait. Saying that, I'm gonna need to sort a power bank for charging phones. That's one thing. I had one when I went to Donfest. It was quite a good one, but I'm gonna have to look into a power bank. So we'll find out how good it'll be, power bank, because I need to keep my charge, because I want to come live myself. Going to do some Facebook lives and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's just a buzz really. It's just kind of shit at the moment because you're kind of just waiting for the festival.